design is inspired by Hyundai's first passenger vehicle, the Pony. In a world that's constantly evolving, we've also seen a steady influx of new electric vehicles over the past couple of years. This, especially since the time Hyundai launched India's first electric SUV, the Kona. That was 2019 though, and we are now in 2023, and Hyundai has just launched the IONIQ5, its most premium offering in India yet, and no prizes for guessing, it's fully electric. First things first, the IONIQ5's design is very unconventional but in a very appealing manner. In fact, with this kind of boxy shape, this car looks like it's straight out of a 1990s video game, and that makes it really eye-catching. But more importantly, this design is inspired by Hyundai's first passenger vehicle, the Pony.
The IONIQ5 is also the first product to be underpinned by Hyundai's dedicated EV platform called the eGMP. Its sharp lines and boxy shape make for a retro feel, as do the headlamps with their unique pixel design. Another very distinctive element are the lights on the front bumper that run along the car's width, positioned just under the headlamps, as they look unique when glowing. A gloss black plastic panel replaces the traditional grille, also housing the front camera for 360-degree surround view. The front bumper houses active flaps at the bottom, which aid aerodynamics when closed and help in cooling powertrain components when opened. The IONIQ5 looks striking from the sides thanks to the boxy design again, and also the sharp diagonal crease on the doors. My personal favorite here though are the 20-inch alloy wheels that stand out with their design. The IONIQ5's laden ground clearance stands at 163 mm, which is the highest in Hyundai India's current lineup, and that's something to say about this EV. The rear end looks equally striking, courtesy the sharp lines and also the pixel design of the tail lamps. I also like how the 255 section tires add lots of character, especially from the rear. The IONIQ5 is thus easily the most distinctive looking SUV in the country, and you simply cannot mistake it for anything else.
The interiors of the IONIQ5 again stand out just like the exterior design, and they look very distinctive. But more importantly, there's a very classy and a premium vibe inside here, something that you'd usually expect in a luxury EV.
Hyundai's design team has put in lots of efforts to ensure the interiors stand out with their clean, spacious look and soft lines. The choice of colors reflects this too, especially the beige theme and the white panel housing the two 12.3-inch screens. The steering wheel is a new 2-spoke unit and looks very appealing, especially with its flat bottom. The drive selector lever is a stock on the steering column, while the parking brake is electric, and these have eliminated the need to have a center console in front. This results in free space on the floor and adds to the IONIQ5's unique feel. You can also slide the front armrest and storage space below it backwards, making for more space if needed in the front footwell. On the other hand, the glove box is a sliding one, unlike the usual hinged units. The cabin overall feels very premium thanks to the abundant use of leather and soft touch plastics, adding to the IONIQ5's appeal, besides which the switches, knobs and controls all have a very polished feel.
The front seats in the IONIQ5 get a heating and ventilation function, whereas the rear seat gets a heating function, and that is in addition to an electric slide function and a manual recline function as well, which helps in making the rear bench really comfortable.
The seating arrangement makes for a lot of flexibility and convenience. Both front seats have motorized controls and can also be set to recline fully and have the Ottoman-like extension rise up, which should make for excellent comfort if waiting in the car while the battery pack recharges. The IONIQ5 may look compact, but it boasts a wheelbase of 3000 mm, which has ensured the cabin is very spacious and legroom and kneeroom at the back are excellent. This, coupled with the comfortable seats and the rear seats recline and electric sliding function, should make the IONIQ5 well suited for family SUV buyers too. And besides the boot, you also get storage space at the front under the hood, since there is no engine here.
Hyundai has always been on top of the features game in India, and of course positioned as its most premium offering. The IONIQ5 is loaded to the gills with features and a host of technology. And there's so much in here that I'm really not able to decide which of these features is my favorite now, be it these two 12.3-inch displays or this brilliant looking panoramic sunroof.
Both displays boast excellent resolution and bright colors, and while the instrument cluster offers lots of information in some interesting formats, the infotainment screen is easy to use on the go. There's also a host of functionalities inside, including multiple USB ports at the front and rear, but all are the older Type A ports that do not support fast charging like the new age Type C ones. I also like the IONIQ5 sunroof, as it is a single fixed glass pane with no splits in between, and even the action of the sunshade opening is an interesting one as the fabric is split in the center and retracts towards the front and rear ends of the roof. You also get an 8-speaker Bose audio system, and the notes are crisp and the sound quality overall is very good. The IONIQ 5 also gets the latest in Hyundai's BlueLink connected technology, besides integrating voice commands for Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. The IONIQ 5 also scores high on the safety front. The SUV is equipped with level 2 ADAS functions and also gets 6 airbags, disc brakes on all 4 wheels, an electric child lock, and also a virtual engine sound to alert pedestrians, considering that it is fully electric and thus a silent vehicle.
Hyundai has only launched the rear-wheel drive version of the IONIQ 5 in India that uses a single electric motor powered by a 72.6 kWh battery pack. Of course, this being rear-wheel drive means that the IONIQ 5 should also be a lot of fun to drive, because till date we've only seen front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive electric cars in India. The outputs here are 217 PS and 350 Newton meters, besides which the range per charge, the claimed range as per ARAI, is 631 kilometers, which is among the highest for any EV in India.
Throttle responses are smooth and help in offering a predictable feel, which should also help drivers who are not used to driving EVs. Sport mode offers sharper responses, but even then, the IONIQ 5 does not take off aggressively and accelerates in a linear manner. It also gets a set of paddle shifters like many new age EVs, which help in single pedal driving by dialing up the regenerative braking. While our driving experience was short, it did help in establishing the fact that the IONIQ 5's powertrain is clearly tuned for a smooth and comfortable driving experience.
The IONIQ 5 supports super fast chargers of up to 350 kilowatt, and that will charge the batteries from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes, while a 150 kilowatt charger will do the same in 21 minutes. Of course, when you buy the IONIQ 5, you will also get a complimentary 11 kilowatt charger that will charge the batteries in just under 7 hours, which is quite cool.
Charging port sits towards the rear and the access flap is a motorized one. It also houses a set of pixel-shaped LED lights that tell you the charging status, which is again a nice touch. And interestingly, Hyundai India is offering an 8-year or 1,60,000 km warranty on the battery pack, which should add further to peace of mind.
The IONIQ 5 is also equipped with the vehicle to load feature, which a lot of new age EVs get, and that means that you can use the IONIQ 5's power to charge or power a lot of other devices, including camping equipment and even electric bicycles and scooters.
The IONIQ 5 can provide up to 3.6 kilowatts of power, and an external adapter lets you use the car's charging port to power larger devices, besides which you can use the ports inside to charge smaller devices like laptop computers. When it comes to the driving experience, the IONIQ 5 feels like a polished and well-mannered electric vehicle. It feels very confident from behind the wheel, and throttle response is precise too. More importantly though, despite 350 Newton meters being sent to the rear wheels, acceleration is quick but not overwhelming. Overall, the IONIQ 5's dynamics thus echo the same feel as the powertrain, that of being set up to offer a comfortable experience, be it behind the wheel or as a passenger. Interestingly though, Hyundai has only launched the rear-wheel drive version in India, which uses a single electric motor and not the more powerful all-wheel drive version. And that should make it fun to drive too, as you can switch ESP off in this one and have it go sideways. The suspension feels a little stiff, which means you do feel the thuds on bad roads, but it never gets really uncomfortable. You also feel body roll around corners when driving enthusiastically, but otherwise, the IONIQ 5 feels very confident and planted around bends.
Like I mentioned at the start, the EV space in India is evolving very rapidly, and in fact over the past 1 year itself we've seen a host of new premium EVs get launched in the country, and the IONIQ 5 here is the latest one to join that bandwagon. Well, more importantly, Hyundai is assembling the IONIQ 5 right here in India, which has allowed it to price it at 44.95 lakh rupees ex-showroom, which is significantly lower than the Kia EV6, its own cousin, which also uses the same platform and powertrain. Now, this SUV certainly seems well packaged to carve its own niche in this rapidly evolving and highly dynamic space. And of course, as a package, in terms of the design, in terms of the powertrain, in terms of the features, this one really ticks a lot of boxes.